Hello everyone again, it's Carla from Glitter Cat Studios. Today we're just going to jump right into it. I want to do another in my series of making cards out of digital papers and magazine clippings. And I've already got the paper I wanted. Now this one is good because, as you can see, my printer kind of had a brain fart and started to run out of ink. But let's turn that into something that actually is going to work for us. So first of all, we're going to start with a 5x7 card. I went ahead and pre-cut my cardstock that I found from, I think I got this one from Hobby Lobby. It's just plain 65-pound cardstock paper. That's all you need. This is one of my, I think it should have been orange. It's one from my own collection from Halloween papers, and so I liked it. I liked the orange and the purple together. It's kind of, I don't know, a weird Halloween vibe, but not really. So, alright, so this is the corner that I want. I'm going to go ahead and just trim it to the card size, and then it will be easier for me to trim with one of the linear paper trimmers later. Another one out. Okay. Alright, so there's our pattern, and it perfectly fits the card. But these are the dies that we're going to be using, and my business is Victorian and vintage and shabby chic. So I really thought that this die would be perfect on this image, and that's what we're going to do. So let me trim this down by 1/4 of an inch. I'll explain this die in a bit. Let me trim this down 1/4 of an inch and I'll be right back. Now you can see that this is just going to fit on here like that beautifully. It's going to give us a nice clean edge. Alright. Next I'm going to take my die cutting machine and cut this image. I want a little bit of the orange leaves showing through. So let's do that. Move that out of the way. This is just a little cheap one from Amazon that I got. And because I'm doing magazine paper, I don't think I'll need the shim. Usually I keep that in there because on these, well, maybe I better, because on these intricate dies, they tend not to cut as well in the middle, and that's what happens when you're die cutting the rollers. This is a 6-inch wide die cutting machine, and the rollers only go 6 inches, so the applied pressure is here and here, but not so much in the middle. That's why we use a shim. You can change the thickness of the shim. Some people use metal shims, just whatever can get the job done for you. So I wanted to leave a little bit of that orange leaf there to go with the orange in the background that I'm cutting. Pop culture. Just dropping some knowledge on you. Okay, so here we go. How beautiful is that? That way I've got edges on it, and I didn't even have to work at it. So I'm going to pause this while I cut out all of those little pieces that didn't quite make it. So you don't need to watch me do that. So I'll be back. Okay, we're back. Alright, I am finished with this die set. It's a beautiful set, and I use it quite often, so I will link it in the description. But here is our finished little piece. Now these were hard to, I'll tell you, because magazine paper is so thin that sometimes it's harder to knock out the little bits that don't cut. See, I thought I got them all, and there's still another one. So just double check it. And triple check it, and 15 check it. See, I thought I got that one. I'll have to do that off camera. I don't want to waste time. So anyway, there we go. So let's pull back over our card. I'm going to lay this down with the double-sided sticky tape that I have been raving about. Alright, so we've got that done. Let me get that in frame. I'm still not very good at knowing when I'm in the camera frame. Let's see. Okay, good. That looks very good. Alright. We have a little and get it cut. And anytime you use black around the edges or a darker color, it forces things to the background. It's a visual trick that we use in optical physics. Alright, so now we are ready for this gorgeous, gorgeous piece that we have cut. And I'm going to go off camera. Good grief, I'm still finding pieces that I didn't get chopped out before. So yeah, this is an ongoing process. Just do what you can, I guess. And I can never grab it. There we go. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then I will be... Okay, we finally got it. And don't touch it on the sticky because it's really sticky. Okay, this is a piece of plain kitchen parchment. You can see where I've used it quite a bit. Alright, so I'm going to lay this down. Here's the trick that I learned. Now, on these edges, they do need to be glued down, but I don't have expensive glue with the tiny little needle holes. So here's what I'm using. Elmer's clear, washable, safe, non-toxic glue. I'm going to put just a dab on my finger, and then on these edges where I know that when the card is being handled, they're going to tend to want to lift more, I'm just going to swipe some on there. And I'm going to do that all the way around. Okay, I'm going to wipe my finger on that because the magic of this parchment, it won't stick to anything. Nothing sticks to it. Okay, so I'm going to move it out of the way for a second. Place my card, make sure I've got it in the right orientation. And I'm just going to center this as much as I can. I'll have to grab it from the gluey edges. Don't apply the pressure until you've got it exactly where you're sure you want it. And then before you mash it down, take your parchment paper, lay it over, and just don't do circles because that will move the parchment. But just take your hands and apply some pressure. Got some glue bits coming off. Just apply even pressure all over. Go over it a few times. Make sure you're getting all of that area covered with applied pressure. And then lift it up. And you can see that every edge is glued down. And there might be some... Is that a cat hair? There might be some wet places. That's okay. It's clear. It dries clear. So now we have the front of it done. So what I decided to do was I found these beautiful stamp dies on Amazon that are it took me a while to find the name because I hadn't seen anyone mention it, but they're called shadow dies. Now this one that I have cuts in two different pieces, and I tried the gold inside the black outline and didn't like it. This one I liked. It put less emphasis on the black. Move that so you don't get so much glare. Yeah, and I don't have a way to zoom my video in, but I think that looks the best. It doesn't hide the purple flowers up here. We're still getting the beautiful orange over here. So I think this is the one I'm going to use. you can keep it together like that and just put the two-sided glue on, or you can use my little Elmer's glue trick, but I'm going to go ahead and glue that down so it's not taking up camera time, and I'll be right back. What I ended up doing was keeping them both together. I turned them over and I used my Elmer's glue. So now all I have to do, since they're already together, is make sure it's centered. I wanted it a little skewed from the horizontal. So, using my same trick again, laying down my parchment, applying even pressure over it. You can almost see it through the parchment. And then lifting it up. And again, don't worry because it dries clear. In some places I am going to make sure it's tacked down, especially on the edges. But it dries clear, so it won't even dull the shine of the gold foil, which I also got at Amazon. Now that's the danger of working it with your fingers. You tend to move it, and until it's completely cured, it has a tendency to move. By the way, nail polish glue, they don't dry, they cure. They have to cure from the inside out. Those molecules and atoms inside of that substance have to actually form. We call them ionic cubes because they look like little tiny 3D cubes, and they have to form and attach to each other from the inside out. So it doesn't dry, it doesn't help you if you blow on it. You have to wait for those cubes to form from the inside out. So there's a little chemistry for you. Call me the nerdy crafter. I use these in almost every video. These are metal book corners that I got from Amazon. Some packages you can get the antique gold, the bright gold, and the silver all together. I tend to use the antique gold the most because my business is Victorian. But I think on this one, because the gold is far enough away from the corners, I think the bright gold might work the best. Here's the finished card. What do you guys think?